welcome, I'm Cyoor, and today we're going to talk about hoppers in Minecraft. And you might think that hoppers are something that is easy to understand and so on, but there are some things that you might not know about. So I thought that I would go through some different things. First off, I would go through the basics of the hoppers. That's probably something you know, but then I will also go through like what blocks they can suck items out from, what they can suck items through, what they can push items into, and I will give some examples in the end of how to get double hopper speeds and so on. So let's start with the basics here. So the first thing you need to know is that a hopper can suck items out of something with an inventory, or it can suck items out of the block above it, and that is exactly the block above it, nothing outside of the block. So for example, if something is here, it can't suck anything out of it. If it's here, here, or any of the other sides, it can't suck any items out from those places. It doesn't matter if this block is an air block, if it's like a solid block, or if it's a glass block, or half slab, or whatever this block is, it can suck items out of it. So as long as you can get an item into this block, it can suck it out of it. So it can also push items out from the hopper, and it does that only into chests and other things with inventory. It can't push anything out in the air. So how does a hopper work really? It's basically very simple, but you need to understand that it has two steps. Every second, or maybe not a second, I don't know the exact time, but it's not every tick at least, but every time it does its cycle, it pushes or sucks. First it sucks an item out of the block above, or the chest, or whatever it is. That's the first thing it does during the cycle. Then when all hoppers in the world have sucked an item from the block above, then all the hoppers in the world will push an item out into something in the tip. So if it's like this, then it will push it out to the side. And that is a very important order to remember, because for example, if we have it sucked like this, then the first thing that will happen is that this hopper and this hopper will suck an item out of. This hopper will suck an item out of this hopper here, and this hopper will suck an item out of this block here. And that means that if there are no items here, it will only suck here and nothing will happen with this one. Then the next step is that both hoppers will push an item out to the next one. That means that if you don't have anything above, this will first not do anything, this one, and then it will get pushed into from the hopper above. If this is the case, that you have it like this, the first cycle, nothing will happen with this lower hopper, because first this hopper and this hopper will suck from the hopper above. And since it can't suck anything out of this hopper because it's nothing there yet, then the item will just get sucked down there, and the next time it will push, and this will try to push out here, it can't, and this will try to push out here, it doesn't have any items. But the next cycle, this will suck an item out of this hopper here, so then this will be slower than this one. So yeah, generally the things that the hoppers can suck items out of is either hoppers like this, or any of these ones, like basically anything with an inventory. It can also suck, as I said before, it can suck something out of this block above here. And that it's this block above here is very important to understand, because let's say, for example, we have this half slab here. It can suck an item through. we have this one here. It can suck an item through as well. So you might think that, well, that's above, but this block is actually not the full block, which means that it have some space up here where the item can rest, and that's inside of that block above. So it's just, let's see if I can explain this a bit more with an F3 up. So as you can see here, we have not exactly, we are not exactly at level 12. If we go here, we will be at exactly level 12. If you look at my XYZ coordinates, the Y coordinates is 12.0.0.0, but when we go to this block here, it's 11.875. So it's not a full block, which means that it can suck an item through it. This is true for these blocks as well. It's true for something like this as well. This means that it's not really the block above it that does anything. It's just a hopper that can't suck anything except for the block above. A really clear example of this is that if we have stairs like this, you can see that if I chuck it on the side here, it will suck it up. But if I chuck it on this top part here, I can have them rest here. But that's just because this is above the block, the air block, and this is inside the block. You can see that this is also possible. So you have some different things. Basically anything that you can get the item into that block above will be possible to suck through. What you need to understand as well is that some things, when it's powered, it can't do anything. And that is important to understand, because if you put something like this, it won't suck anything through unless because this is a daylight sensor. But if we chuck items into it like this when it's unpowered, then it will get through. So how about these blocks here? Well, we can see that I can chuck it in sometimes like this. I need to really fit it into this part here. It's a bit hard, but I can get items in if I really. It might be easier if I do it like this, I don't know. But if I really get them in, they will get sucked up if I get them into the space. It will not, like, in any way get sucked through from above. Here is like this daylight sensor. It won't do anything because it's powered. It's not because it's not a full block. Here you can see that I can't throw anything on top of that half slab, but I can throw things under, and that will suck it up. Here, this is not a full block, but it's a tile entity, and when something gets pushed here, you can see that it's not really a full block in any directions, but I still can't. I can rest it on top of here, but I can't suck it up, and that is because if it's a chest, it will ignore the part in the code where it tries to look for anything in the block above. And that is very important to understand, because that can help you when you're having lag on the server, because basically what it does is it's checking for all the items in the world and seeing if any of those items are above. And that can be really consuming on the server or on your computer. But if you just put down a furnace on top, it will just check if it's anything in the furnace, and if it's empty, it won't do anything. So you can really help by just chucking down or like putting down a furnace on top of every hopper that have an open top like this to help out. Another thing that is important to understand is that it doesn't need to be an air block above. It doesn't need to be like open in any way. You can chuck items in like this. First, you can just make sure that nothing is in there. So you can see that there is nothing inside the hopper. But if we push it up, it will get floated up in here, and then it will get into this block above. And that block above will suck out the hopper will suck out the items from inside. Wait, yeah. So as you can see, I could get them in. I can try this again, and let's see if I can, yeah. So you could see that I could get it in by just pushing it in from below like that. Fences are the same as the other blocks over there. You can chuck items on top. They will float there because it's 1.5 high. But if you chuck it from the side, it will get sucked up. Okay, so let's go on to like how the hoppers can push things into things. So here you can see it can push down if it's like pointed down, and it will push on to the side if it's pointed to the side. But and that will be the same for the hopper. But some things are different depending on how you push things into them. For example, here it won't be anything different depending on if it's a chest or if it's chests. It doesn't matter how you push them in. But if if we, for example, try to put in like redstone, or we try to put in iron blocks or something like this from the back of a furnace, then that won't do anything. But if we put it in from above, you can put in like basically whatever block you want, as long as I mean it's just one slot here. So if we take this out, you can put some other block in here. And what you can put in here is only fuel. So you can only put fuel from the side or from the back. So, and that will get into the fuel part. So here, let's go on to a bit more about speed of hoppers and how they really do things when they transfer things. So the first thing, as I told you before, is that it will suck an item from the thing above and drag it down. This means that if we have like something like this, you can see that it's two times each tick, and we get 2 each tick. But if we have something like this, we only get 1 each tick, and that is because this is pointing out to the side. This one is pushing down and this one is sucking, so it's doing both sucking and pushing, or pulling and pushing. Here it's just doing the sucking part. This means that if we put something in like this, we will have both pushing and we will have sucking. But since we have the pushing and sucking in the different directions, this will split 50-50. So you will have half the stack here and half the stack here. You can see that it's 32 in each. If we have something like this, this won't be true, however, because this will only suck one item. I mean, a chest can't push down. So this will just suck one item each time it's doing its cycle. And that means that since this sucking here is coming first, and this sucking here is happening before it can push, then this will suck up all the items basically. So when you have it like this, it will get sorted down every time. And that is because the chest is so slow. If we, on the other hand, have something like this, you can see that this pushes down first, or at the same time as this sucks an item, which means that you will have this filled all the time in the middle, and this can suck out, and this can be pushed. Well, now I had something from before here, I guess, but you can try this again. So this will be half all the time, just as back there. So, and this will happen even if we like take higher. It doesn't, or like this thing will happen even if we have a higher. So this will be slow. You can see that you can't really see the item here because it won't even go through a cycle before getting down. But here you can see it. But this will just get pulled down all the way, and nothing will get pushed into the side here. So to prevent something from just happening like that, if we want to split it, we can double the speed of pulling out of this chest here. So if we do like this, you can see that it's double speed. Now I obviously put it in the middle of some cycle or something, because it just didn't do an even number. But this means that we will get items flowing down, and we will get the double speed as we got here, and that means that we can both push and pull, and we will get half. Yeah, now I had some items here before. I can just do this again with one stack. So as we can see, we will have half the items all the time. Oh, it was like from before. Anyway, we should get half the items all the time. Sorry. So if we want to get like some super fast speed, we can have a vertical line like this, and this will be double the speed. So if we have something like this, you can see that it's double the speed, and this will be double the speed all the way, since it's vertical. If we have it like this is horizontal. This can't suck any items out of it, so it won't. Oh, sorry. Now it won't be double the speed. Let's. We can do a comparison here. Actually, let's leave 4 here, and let's leave. Can see if I can. It should be. Yeah, here you can see the choking point of this part. Since this can't suck any items out, this will be where they end up. So let's just leave 4 here as well. This is just so that I can compare. So now I'll put items into this one first, and then afterwards I will put into this. And on the back side here I have comparators, and they are equal lengths. So once those lights get put on, you can see that the left one will be put on much earlier than the right one, because this will. Oh, yeah, let's see, it should be one more here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's take half a stack instead, so that you can see the difference. Half a stack. So I start with this one to the right, just so that you can see, and then I take this one to the left, and this was started like now it's empty already, and you can see that it's the left one turned on much earlier. Sorry for the rain here. So what we can do to save on hoppers can be to put a chest like this, but what you need to understand is that if you put a chest like this, this will just push one down, and this will suck in the next cycle, which means that this is basically a slow down. So we can see that this will suck 2 items each time, but we will only get 1 item each time here, and that is because this will not be able to push fast enough, because this is not sucking anything. So to speed up things, if we know that going vertical is double the speed of going horizontal, and chests are slowing down, that means that if we have, oh, let's take down off this F3 by the way. This means that here we need to have double the speed, because we have a chest up here. If we want double the speed, then we have vertical. That can be just 1 hopper line. But then if we want to go horizontal, we need to have 2 hopper lines. So then we need to split it somehow by sucking it out and pulling it into another one. And here we have vertical, and then we need to split it up so that we can push it in at double the speed. So now I've built a contraption with 1 hopper here, 1 hopper here. We have chests in both ends, and we can still get double the speed. So as you can see, well, it should be double speed. Let's see. Yeah, it's double the speed, as you can see. So if you want double speed, you can pull down with 1 line, and you need to go in the horizontal direction with 2 lines. So I hope that you have learned something from this. It's not that hard to understand once you understand the order that the hoppers do things, that they push first, or they pull first and then they push, and they need to, if they have an item in the the hopper, it will get pulled down first, and then it will be pushed the next step. So that's why splitting happens. So yeah, I think that this will be my last video before Christmas, and I think that I will be back after New Year's Eve or something again. But if you like this and want more, I will be back, and you can subscribe if you want to be sure to not miss anything. Also, if you liked it, feel free to share it with your friends, and maybe leave a like under and put some comments in. I will answer all questions that you have if something was unclear or something. But yeah, so to sum up this thing, put furnaces on your hoppers to not slow down your server. Vertical is double the speed of horizontal, so you need to have double horizontal. You can push or pull items out of anything, solid blocks and anything, but just the block above. So, well, I'm Cyoor, and thanks for this time. See you next time. Bye bye.